Alright, what's going on, everybody? The journey continues. Today's video is regarding nutrition prep for events, competitions. I've been involved in them for over 20 years myself. I learned a lot through the years, learned a lot about nutrition. That's how I got into my degree in college, 4-year degree in nutrition, dietetics. I was very interested in it early on through bodybuilding. And the video that I'm putting together today is an informational video. It's my opinions. No one to take anything personal. I'm not directing anything towards anyone specific. Whether if you happen to fall into one of the categories or the stories that I bring up, it's not geared toward anyone specific again. So just take it as maybe an informational thing for yourself. So, long story short is I learned a lot about nutrition, wellness, and applied to sports and extreme sports. And I've worked with a lot of different athletes before. A lot of them are not bodybuilders, but they had goals that were pretty extreme, whether it be extreme races, running, 100-mile races. It was something new to me. I've never heard of it. I thought they were joking. But there's a lot of different methods of nutrition applied to different people and their different events. So a lot of times people, I think, confuse things or do too much, like they always have to change something or make something new or reinvent something, or if something's working, I'm all for trying to make it a little better, or researching yourself and learning your body, see what works for you, because I firmly believe every so often, every couple of years, your body mutates, changes, which means responds to foods and stressors differently, whether it be food intolerances, allergies, whether it just be digestion based, whether it be performance based. But I do believe there's some science behind every 4 years. Now, I just chose that number because it's happened numerous times. Every 3, 4 years, I have to switch it up, or my body responds differently to things. And I've seen that with a lot of different people that I've prepped and helped, or even oversaw, and got their feedback. So, bottom line is, when assessing any nutrition wellness program, having some background helps. Hiring a coach, hiring someone else to oversee you is a really good thing. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of at least having somebody that you trust, that you can bounce ideas off of. Not to offend the person if you're hiring them and you want to make adjustments, versus if you're not hiring them, and you're asking them a million questions. Sometimes it's better to have an outside point of view. But that being said, I think a lot of times there's complications with nutrition and applied to sports in general, because people feel you have to make some type of change, or you have to adjust your food when you're already on the right track. There's a lot of different variables that you can change. Food is one variable, but how your body deals with the stress in your day, the cardio, the training, the style of cardio, your lifestyle, your work, that all comes into play. So I see a lot of people having all these different, I want to call them protocols, because it's something that they try over and over, something that they choose to use for clients or themselves, where they're habitual in doing a certain pattern of things. So I call that like a protocol. However, I think nowadays there's been a higher rise in, I don't know if it's the coaches themselves that want to try to put something out there to grab attention from other people, other clients. Is it to increase their work load, to draw attention? Because let's just face it, like, if you're following a basic diet and you're posting your food, whether it be 16 weeks out, 2 days out from a show, and it's the same chicken breast and rice and broccoli, people onlooking will be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right. But then now we're talking about all these other food combinations and cheat meals, and certain cheat meals specifically Whether certain coaches use certain specific cheat meals like it's their branding now. And I feel it's great to find what works. That's one thing. But I think that it's I don't know if it's on purpose, but I feel like coaches are creating a out of the norm to draw attention, and I don't think that's needed. I think that the physique itself speaks for itself. Um, Now, however, if that person has a super crazy metabolism, you got to make certain adjustments and changes. That's great. But it's a blessing for somebody to know nutrition, to know like what foods do for them and what different carbs are. But it could also be a curse if somebody's, training and I don't want to say know too much, but they're they know a lot about different carbs and protein, so it's harder for them to let somebody take the reins. For example, if you not know a food is better for you, but you say, okay, well, 30 grams of carbs from this is this, and 30 grams of protein is this. Why can't I just have this? You know, do I have to have salmon protein, or can I have a different fish? Like protein is protein. Well, yes, in some way, but if your coach or somebody that you're working with has a specific reason for something, then there's a specific reason. And a lot of times the more you know, the worse you can be. In my boat, I know a lot about a lot of stuff. So I'm always able to manipulate certain things, try different things, try to see how it works for me before I try it on somebody else or before I even bring it up to somebody else if they've ever done it, would they want to try it, whether it be cardio style in addition to the nutrition, certain type of macronutrients. So all in all, you know, take a look at yourself, your plan, what you're doing for yourself, see if it resonates with you, meaning, if it feels right, communicate with the people you're working with in general, and that's the best thing you can do. A lot of times, I'm not saying, the coach's methods are wrong or that they're out there. I don't know what their client has done. I don't know the cardio, the training. I don't know depletion, not depletion, their genetics. I don't know. You know, I'm not working with them, so I'm not one to say something is technically wrong or right, or that it's not needed. I'm just saying that things have changed through the years, and a lot of times having a little bit of a knowledge base is helpful to you. And being able to trust in somebody is really good, and communication is the best thing you can do. I've worked with a lot of clients that fail to communicate, and I'm not here to baby someone, meaning I'm not here to say, hey, if you want to keep checking in, or hey, if you want to tell me what you're eating and all that stuff, because this should be given. If someone's going to hire you, someone's going to work with you, you want to have that communication between the people. And another thing is people go from one coach to the other coach to the other coach when they're already doing well. I understand, like, I've tried working with different people. I've seen different philosophies a little bit, different communications between coaches. And, I know it works for me, and I'm not going to offend anybody. And a lot of times when I prep myself, it's because I have a good in tune of what I feel works for me food wise. Now, I'm always open minded. I think that's a huge thing in the sport, having an open mind, but don't be duped by certain people, meaning, Homer Simpson or whoever, Bart Simpson, kids in TV land, you're being duped. That's all I remember from the thing. Anyway, so you don't want to be undermined, meaning you don't want someone to take your not knowledge for like having a chance to kind of just change things up and do something new with you that they would never do with anybody, and they're just trying something out. And be upfront with somebody. You don't need to call them out or anything, but just communicate. That's the best thing I could tell you, and just be aware of everything going on. And make sure that you're getting the best for you. And I know a couple coaches, one person in particular who I know goes above and beyond for their clients, And by above and beyond nowadays, I feel it's taking a lot of the stress off of the individual. Not doing the cardio for the person, not giving the person a break and saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna throw a cheat meal in, no problem." You know, like, you're feeling like crap a little bit. Yeah, burger fries. No, I'm talking about working with somebody and saying, you're working hard, you're doing the cardio I asked, you're doing the following the diet, everything's good. And then this person in particular, he actually travels with the people, right? Which is awesome, especially if you have a good communication. A lot of people get stressed out easy, just high time of competing makes you a little bit irritable or whatnot. But if you can travel and you can be around somebody, that's great. Especially a coach, if you can communicate, that's the key. Hopefully, you can be in the same space, for a little bit of time without, having a fight. Anyway, so the new thing is, traveling with people, helping them with their food, helping them cook their food if they're not getting it from a meal company, or if, you're not helping them get the meals, cooking their food, working with them, letting them, chill out and enjoy you being able to cater to them. That's the new thing, I think. That's a big thing. Now, it's not something you're going to get 5,000 clients and be able to do that. No, you're not. You're going to probably get a select number of clients, but those clients, are going to value that. They're going to get more from it. They're going to learn more. And I think it's a amazing tool to be able to do that for somebody, and for somebody to be able to chill and enjoy the whole process a lot better and learn their body. Be in communication. So, but there are a lot of coaches that have hundreds of clients, and I give them a lot of respect too, because those are clients they have that they check in though. Email, it's there. Okay, it's time to check in. There's email there. You're not going through 100 people saying, "Where's this check-in? Where's her check-in? What's going on with her? This is going on with her. I haven't heard from her in a week." It's hard when you have a lot of clients. You got to put in the time and you got to make it a priority. But it can be done. But anyway, so the point of this last part is just that there's a new wave, I feel, of training, and it has to do with traveling with people, and it has to do with contouring their food, helping them make food, going shopping with them, learning stuff in the process about them maybe you didn't even know, and then also them grasping something a lot faster. So when you're prepping with them or you tell them to do something later, it's like, I got it, I understand, I know exactly what you mean. So it's an awesome thing. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble any more than this. All right, hopefully you took the time to check the video out. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your follows. Any questions you got? I know a lot of people hesitate to give me questions, but then yet I talk about stuff in stories and things, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you talked about that." Well, I don't know. I can't read minds, and I know a lot of people struggle with different things. A lot of people have different questions, and there's a lot out there, a lot of information. So I don't know it all. I keep an open mind. I learn when I can. I go with the flow to a certain degree. And other than that, keep rocking, stay on the grind. The journey continues.